Philip Duncan, kia ora, nice to see you.
Kia ora, hello, good to be back.
There's a song which says, the sun will come out tomorrow. Is that like a prophetic song? Is that the truth? Tell me it's so, Phil.
It depends on where you live,
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
there's a fairly good chance the sun will come out tomorrow. But if it's not tomorrow, it might be the day after or the day after that. But either
Okay.
way, we do have sunny weather moving into the country. For most regions, we've got a big high pressure system out in the Tasman Sea. It's kind of flirting with us for a few days. And by that, I
Oh,
mean
yeah.
it's not right perfectly over the country. And so we get a bit of a southerly flow with that. And that can bring in some cloudy areas to coastal areas and maybe a few showers into both islands. But when I say a few showers, I really do mean that. Most places have some long dry stretches. And not only that, the hike actually comes in next week and crosses at least the South Island, but the North Island gets caught up in it too. So we've got some of the most widespread frost we've seen this year,
Okay.
but for some parts of the South Island, it won't be the coldest they've had this year. So it's more the North Island's turn to get a bit of winter weather, but we've got a big reduction in severe weather risks over the next week, which I think many people will be happy about.
I'm very happy. Honestly, I don't think, and hey, putting this in context with people who've had severe weather events and road closures and their houses are flooded and everything, but from my point of view, I don't think the concrete on my driveway has had a chance to dry out in 3 weeks. So to be able to have enough sunshine, enough gaps between those light showers to go, you know what? I think I'll go for a walk now. I mean, that's just good for the
Yeah.
soul, right?
Makes a difference when the ground's dry. It
Yeah.
does. It makes you more likely to go outside, walk around the lawn, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, a lot of good weather coming through. And from a farming perspective, and a growing perspective, and a gardening perspective, what we're getting this winter is a very good mix of weather. We're getting variety. I always say variety is a good thing
Yep.
in weather because it means that most of us are getting a bit of everything we want. Now, as you say, there's been severe weather. Some people have had too much. But the good thing about the severe weather we've actually had is it's been fairly localized. It hasn't been necessarily every region in the country's been flooded out.
Yeah.
And so the severe weather, not to minimize it, but we're now getting the balance of that with some really dry, sunny spells and some frost coming in to slow the grass growth down. If people mowing lawns, if you've probably haven't had a chance to lately, but that will slow things down again for many people. And it's just kind of more traditional, normal weather coming through.
That is one of the good things of winter. Hey, thanks for putting that in perspective, Philip, actually, because you go, oh gosh, winter, isn't it terrible? But you're mowing your lawn less often, aren't you? So that is a good perspective. You say more wintry in the North Island, even some snow flurries on the desert road, not necessarily some big dumps of snow.
Probably most of that is happening now and is clearing away
Okay.
now. Mostly to do with the big low that's still crossing over the North Island. It's clearing away now, though, and a few showers behind it with the southerly that we usually get. Hopefully, there was a bit of snow last night as well because I know the snow level on Mount Taranaki got down a bit. People could see that,
Yeah.
so that's good news for the North Island because the North Island's been really mild. I don't mean that in the sense of everyone's out there in shorts and t-shirts, but we've had a number of days that have been above normal, and there's been a real lack of frosts in the top half. Places like Waikato and Bay of Plenty,
Yeah.
which when I was a kid growing up in those two regions, frosts were every week. And now we're hearing from people say, I think we've only had one or two this year.
Yeah.
So this is well overdue to get some of this weather up here.
Those good old-fashioned freezing fogs rolling over the Waikato valleys.
There you go.
Happy childhood memories on that one, Philip.
Yeah, I've got memories of the fog sitting there with the frost on the ground for 3 days. Like
Oh, my goodness.
Waikato can be very bleak in winter, but I don't think this year it's been quite as bad. Although the fog's been around though.
And I do like the coordination in particular for this one. Back from school holidays, and that can be a little bit of a letdown. But it's the weather's been a little bit wet, so it's probably good weather to be inside. And the sun is coming up, again, not in all places. This is not a personal guarantee from weatherwatch.co.nz. But for most of us, we should have some sunshine hours this weekend to do the things that we love to do with the people that we love and care for, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there will be a few showers that linger. I think the eastern North Island might see a few lingering around and could be even a few coming into Canterbury. But yeah, it does look like high pressure is going to push through next week. We are watching two big low pressure zones. In fact,
Okay.
you could argue they're both storms. One is going to form directly north of New Zealand near Fiji, and that could actually just push the southeast wind over the country, or at least over the North Island, a bit more next week. And the other area is a big storm directly south of Australia.
Yep.
So one north of New Zealand, one south of Australia, and in between those two storms or those big lows, high pressure moving into us for the first time in a long time. So it's, yeah, we've got some balance and variety at the moment.
And again, maybe those storms doing us a favour. Are they going to kind of lock that high in place for perhaps longer than it would have otherwise?
Well, the high tends to do the thinking rather than the lows. So
Okay.
the lows go where the highs sort of tell them to some degree.
Yeah.
So the high pressure system's the more dominant one in the New Zealand area, which has not been the case for the last month or so. So this is a bit of a change, and it holds those other systems back. You know, over in Australia, they're getting pounded this weekend by this big gale force system from Perth to Hobart, a huge part of the country, 4,000 kilometres or so, going to be affected by gale to severe gale winds. That system will probably fall apart before it gets here because of that big high we've got.
Yep.
But we'll be waiting to see what happens a week from now. Once that high looks like it's starting to move on, then what happens? That's the big question mark, basically.
And hey, not often that we can say we've got a weather system which is impacting one side of Australia to the other. I mean, it's a big island, honestly, but hopefully that sorts itself out before it makes its way across the Tasman. I love that phrase, actually. The highs do the thinking on this one, but when it comes to the latest in weather advice, it's Weatherwatch that does the thinking for you. You can, of course, access it on the app weatherwatch.co.nz. Phil, thanks for what you're thinking about. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, mate. Have a good weekend.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.